It's been a while since I had this one on camera. This is one of those pieces that I have a real love-hate relationship with. This is the SOG Pentagon OTF. These came out about 3 or 4 years ago, I think. And we're really in a position to really change the market, and then just kind of flopped. Mainly due to a bad timing, in that these had some tolerance stacking issues that could have been easily fixed on the assembly line, but SOG was acquired by GSM about the same time that these came out, and any hope of a revision on these to fix the issues is probably pretty slim. These things had a lot going for them. These were the very first production OTF to do any sort of blade play minimization or a zero blade play mechanism. And they did it in a really, really unique way. Focus. You can see that top edge of the center section of the chassis has a dovetail, and the edge of the blade, focus, has a corresponding angle that matches that dovetail, and it is wedged over to the side into that dovetail by this little spring-loaded wedge you can see sticking out the front of the chassis there. There's a return spring that pulls the button back slightly, pulling that wedge back. That wedge interfaces with a steel pin going through and forces the blade over into the dovetail. And it really does get rid of almost all the play. There's a little bit of play. If you hold the trigger back, it's a little bit less. But honestly, it's fine. Like, compared to every other production OTF, this has basically no play. Everything else was a rattle trap at the time. The biggest issue with these is that the guide slot that interacts with the pins in the blade that keep it centered in the chassis during travel, there's too much slop there. And so as it comes out, the blade rattles side to side and hits the inside of that center section of the chassis, which is steel, and dulls the edges. Like, bad. Like, you could put a fresh edge on it, cycle it 10, 15 times, and be able to see big nicks in the edge. It was a real problem. I was able to sharpen the edge back a little bit and also go in and tighten up the guide channel. I did some judicious peening of the edges of the guide channel to kind of close it back up, and then I filed it back straight. And mine does not beat itself up. But it's a real shame. They were pretty affordable. They're still pretty affordable. If you get one that the tolerance stacking works out and it doesn't beat the edges up when you cycle it. You've got a steel center section of the chassis, 2 steel liners, and then aluminum covers, which makes for a relatively heavy knife. They're like over 6.5 ounces, but in theory, it should be a very robust chassis. I haven't done any heavy use testing on this because I'm pretty sure I paid retail, which was around $350. If it does fail, I don't want to throw $350 down the drain. But if somebody wants to donate one, I'll be happy to beat the crap out of it. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so SOG does still make an OTF. They were the first production company to try and do a zero blade play mechanism, and in a wildly different way than the deadlock is. So, I got to give them lots of props for that. It's just a shame that they didn't quite follow through with the real world testing of the production models and tighten up the production line a little bit. Would have been a killer knife. So yeah, I hope you guys like this little ramble about the Pentagon OTF. Like I said, it's been a while since I had it out. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. I hope everyone has a good day.